contemplating the ruins of this small city in eastern Donetsk. For days, shells and rockets have rained down on shopping streets and schools in Bakhmut. A few miles further north in Soledar, residents are watching, waiting, hearing the Russian army advancing. Time and hope are in short supply as enemy forces close in on the region. Ukraine's leader orders civilians to get out.
There are hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of children there. Many refuse to leave, but it really needs to be done. This decision will have to be taken regardless, believe me. And the sooner it is made, the more people leave Donetsk region now, the fewer people the Russian army will have time to kill.
Having failed to capture Kyiv, President Putin is focusing his firepower on the Donbass. And it was from Kyiv that relatives of Ukrainian prisoners of war called for news of their loved ones in the east. This after a rocket strike on a detention centre killed at least 50 and injured dozens.
My son is in captivity. My son was there. I don't know how he is or where he is, whether he's alive or not. I don't know. It's a horror, only horror.
Russia and Ukraine have blamed each other for the attack. Further west, Russian missiles have been pounding Mykolaiv, a strategic city close to Ukraine's main port. One of those killed overnight, the country's largest grain exporter, Alexei Vadatursky, a man who'd been working on new ways to get the commodity out. The Russian Navy's blockade of Odessa has made exports all but impossible. But tomorrow, this ship could be the first to set sail for months, according to Turkey's president, who, along with the UN, has broken an agreement between Ukraine and Russia to ensure the safe passage of shipments. 20 million tons of grain is lying idle in warehouses and burning in fields, while the other side of the world, the spectre of famine lurks.
One country, Russia, has effectively set the UN Charter on fire.
On Friday, Russia's ambassador to the UN Security Council accused the West of launching a proxy war by arming Ukraine. Today, President Putin used Russia's Navy Day celebrations to denounce the USA as its greatest existential threat, saying a new hypersonic missile system would be at his disposal within months.
We will provide protection firmly and by all means. The key thing here is the capability of the Navy. It can respond with lightning speed to anyone who infringes on our sovereignty and freedom.
No mention of the war, or special operation as Putin would have it. For all the pomp and ceremony in St. Petersburg, Russia's army in Ukraine has been left depleted and without a significant territorial gain for weeks.
Well, earlier I spoke to the Ukrainian MP Lesia Vasilenko and asked her why the order to evacuate Donetsk had come now.
We believe there's still a couple of 100,000 left there and over 50,000 children who are living in the area. So the Ukrainian government has been calling for an evacuation from eastern areas of Ukraine and southeastern regions as well from the very beginning, from the 24th of February this year. But we are especially emphasizing now because winter is approaching. And considering that Russia has destroyed all the infrastructure, especially the energy infrastructure in those areas, it's going to be a very tough winter. It's going to be cold.
It's been dangerous in areas like this for a while now. Why do you think people haven't left? Do they have enough support to leave, financial support, emotional support for them to get out?
In all honesty, it's a very tough decision to leave. Really, the wording homesickness has got a whole new meaning for us Ukrainians who have had to lose their homes. And I think that's the reason behind it, the psychological attachment to your home. Although it can be bad, although it can be dangerous, but it's still yours. And in Ukraine, we have a saying that even the walls have a healing power. This is why so many Ukrainians have already come back to their homes. Many more are contemplating coming back at the end of the summer, and many have been reluctant to leave and have not left their homes.
Just wanted to find out more about the prison camp and the attack on that camp. What's the latest that you know?
So we know today that 53 prisoners of war have been killed, over 70 have been injured or wounded. And at the moment, we don't have any more information than that because Russia has denied access to the facility to Red Cross representatives and to any international representatives whatsoever, which is a clear indication that Russia yet again is trying to cover up a war crime they have committed. I mean, in the media, this act has been called as an act of terrorism, but it is more than that. Under international law, it qualifies as a war crime, and every single criminal behind this crime needs to be brought to justice and needs to answer for his actions. And these crimes need to be talked about. They need to be highlighted in the international media and in international legal proceedings. And the truth needs to be out there, and the truth will be out there.
And just finally, Turkish officials say that grain is going to be coming out of the country and shipments are going to be resumed as early as tomorrow. What have you heard on this? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, Ukraine has done everything possible from our side to restart, to have these shipments out from the Ukrainian ports. We have cooperated within the mechanisms that have been set up, but at the same time, it will depend on Russia's willingness to actually follow in with the agreements that have been reached in Istanbul.
Lesia Vasilenko, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.